Hi, everybody. I want to welcome you guys to our sleep webinar. Did you know that there's a whole webinar on sleep and that we can teach you how to sleep better? I'm so excited about this. If you've noticed, on Mom Smack, we've done a number of posts this year about sleeping and how important it is for us to get sleep and how it can affect our lives. And we've even given you a few tips on how to sleep better. And briefly, we're going to review our relationship with intelliBED and how they got us involved and how they taught us to sleep better. And what am I trying to say? My brain just left me. See, maybe I didn't get enough sleep last night. We have guests, and so I'm maybe not sleeping enough. But so my husband and I, when we were first married and we had a little girl, that was 8 years ago, we went out and bought a new mattress because that's what all new married couples do. They go out and buy a new mattress, right? I would say in the first 18 months, he had created this canyon on his side of the bed. So we flipped the bed, and 3 months later, we flipped the bed again, and then we turned the bed sideways, and then we flipped it over. We spent the next 7 years flipping this stupid mattress. It was awful. So when intelliBED approached us about trying their new bed out, I was all on board. Anything had to be better than what we were currently using. So today, we have a real expert with us who really involved in this project, Sean Clark. Are you there, Sean? What can you tell us?
I am, and it's great to be here, Teresa. I'm a founder of
We're
intelliBED, and about 18 years ago, my partner and I decided to make a sleep surface, a mattress for people who just couldn't sleep in a regular bed at all. And there are some of those people out there. They sleep 3 or 4 hours in a lazy boy chair at night. And that really took us on this odyssey of sleep, how you sleep better, why we sleep, and then we found that there's just tons of people out there today. It's become rampant with people like yourself who just weren't sleeping well. So we turned all that technology and all of our learning into a full line of product for the general market. And that's what we're going to share today is a lot of the research that we've learned in working with leading sleep experts and doctors, and we can help people sleep better. So it's great to be
it is
here.
it's so interesting that you said about people sleeping in lazy boys. I actually have an uncle that sleeps in a lazy boy and he can't find a bed to sleep in. And I've suggested this and I'm trying to talk him into it. So maybe after he listens to this, he'll finally go out and purchase that intelliBED.
Well, we've been doing this 18 years and we've worked with almost 100,000 people, and we know we can get him sleeping again well.
Good. He needs that. So let's see. Should we go to the next slide? All right. So, okay. So this is how I look every night when I sleep. Don't we all? This is my hair's perfect. I'm just laying there. But we may not look like that, but I can teach you guys or help you guys how to be as restful or at least sleep as restfully as she looks. So let's talk about why sleep is so important. This is what I didn't realize. I went through college, sleeping, we'd go out, we'd study. I mean, we hardly slept at all. And then when we had our first child, we didn't sleep. We're up and we're down and we're up. And I didn't realize how much that lack of sleep was a mood. It was affecting my weight loss. It was affecting my memory. It's so frustrating for me. I can always tell when I'm not getting enough sleep because my memory starts to go. It's kind of like it is today. I start buying bad food because it's easier for me to make that bad food and it's just satisfying, it's quick. My skin starts to look bad. I have a hard time focusing. Um, you hear your kids, mom, 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 mom. I don't hear them. I'm not paying attention to them because I'm not getting enough sleep. the reaction time, I think, is my biggest. It's I don't react fast enough. So how much sleep do we really need? This was something that I was shocked by. I figured that I could survive on 6 hours of sleep. And I think that I was surviving on 6 hours of sleep, but really what the National Sleep Foundation recommends is that adults sleep between 7 and 9 hours. I knew infants needed a lot of sleep, but I didn't realize that they needed up to 15 hours of sleep. That is, I don't think my youngest daughter, who is now 8, slept that much. We now make sure that our infant and our toddler are getting more sleep, but they need their mom and dad there with them. We have to sleep at least 7 to 9 hours, or I am just not performing. So let's talk about a sleep cycle. So during a sleep cycle, we all learned about REM sleep in psychology in high school, right? So during stage one, it's that kind of I'm awake, I'm asleep mode. And then you go into stage two where it's the light sleep. I think most new parents spend most of their time in stage two because they have to be, I know that at least I did, because I was constantly waiting for somebody to wake up or to move, or when they were infants, when they were brand new and we'd have them at home, we did the whole co-parent co-sleeping where they would lay in bed with us. I never got a deep sleep. And it wasn't until we finally put the Kaylee, who's now 14 months, in her own room and we got our intelliBED that I actually fell into a deep sleep. I started dreaming again. I started remembering the dreams when I woke up. It's so important to be able to get to that stage three and that stage four because that actually helps to heal your body and create the good skin and create the, you know, um, you're being able to remember things the next day and your reaction time and all of that. So that's the part that I stressed about and that I didn't know that I was getting to.
Teresa, and in fact, we worked with one of the leading doctors, Dr. Robert Troll, who spent 7 years at Stanford Research Labs. And that's where they actually discovered REM sleep. Uh,
Right.
and he was a fellow there. And so when you talk about the sleep cycles, we go through a number of those during the night. And, it's during REM that you dream and also have nightmares, but it's during stage 3 and 4 where your brain actually, delta waves come in, and that's where our brain becomes involved and heals and nourishes our body. It's very interesting. In fact, most people don't realize we have a natural healer in our body, and it's our
Mhm.
brain. And it comes out at night if we can get this deep level sleep. And this chart shows the sleep cycles that you go through 4 or 5 during the evening,
Right.
and they get progressively shorter. And if you're sleeping properly, um, you get your deep healing sleep during the first 4 or 5 hours, and then you just kind of the rest of the sleep is just kind of there. So what we learned in working with Dr. Troll, and he actually had our bed and some of the other kinds of mattresses in his sleep lab for 2 years with patients sleeping on them, is that when you move during sleep, if you have to toss and turn, like you said on your old bed, uh,
Mhm.
and you knew that you were just moving and waking up sore and so forth. Every time you move during sleep, you go back up to stage one to do it. So if you're sleeping on a mattress that doesn't comfort you properly and reduce the tossing and turning, you are robbing yourself of the deep healing, restorative nature of sleep in the first place.
Right.
So what we've
And
learned is not how much you sleep, it's the quality of your sleep that's very important.
right. Well, doesn't the average person toss and turn up to 40 times a night?
They do, and people think that that's okay and normal the way it's been presented to us.
Uh-huh.
And what we've learned in working with Dr. Trollin is that that really is robbing you of the deep healing nature of sleep and your brain's ability to uh, heal and nourish your body during sleep. So that's an extreme negative that
Right.
people just don't realize. is robbing them of quality sleep.
We were out of town recently and we were staying in a hotel, and I felt like, and my husband and I both discussed this, we felt like we slept, 7, 8 hours, but we woke up and we were still tired and groggy.
We've
And
been
it's,
we've been doing this 18 years and have almost 100,000 people that we've tracked sleeping on our bed, and that's the biggest complaint. That when you
yeah,
sleep on, even in a really good hotel with really nice beds, you can tell the difference in your sleep quality, and you wake up, like you said, groggy.
yeah, absolutely. So the other thing that we did is on Mossback is we did a whole post about easy ways to get more sleep. And there are things like eliminating caffeine in the evening, limit your alcohol, eliminate your, or eliminate
I've lost you.
time to go to sleep and wake up, and then make sure your sleep surface, obviously, is giving you great support. I will say the blue light for us is really hard. We have a regular time where the whole family kind of moves upstairs at once. The kids go to bed, and my husband and I lay down and we watch TV for about an hour. So it's when I mentioned to him getting the blue light, he put a kibosh on that. And so we've done other things. We have yoga poses that we do with the kids every night before bed. The TV's just always going to be there, but there are other things that we can do that help, right? I mean, I'm not going to lose too much sleep if I have my TV in my room, am I?
No, and as we've learned, it's the quality of the sleep. Can you get the 2 or 3 hours of that deep healing sleep you need a night, as opposed to spending 7 or 8 hours tossing and turning? That really makes
Right.
a difference, and that's why we sleep. And you're not going to hear that anywhere else because they don't teach it in medical schools. It's just unbelievable how little that most people, including medical professionals, know about sleep and why we do it and what's important about it, and also the impact of things like what we sleep on, the room we sleep in, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and whether or not we're disturbed. But the key thing that we've learned is that it's the movement during sleep that really takes you from level 3 and 4 up to level 1 to do it. And every time you do
Right.
move, you lose the deep healing level sleep. And that's why you can spend 7, 8 hours in bed and still wake up groggy and feeling, sore and tired.
Right. Well, and it's not only when you toss and turn, but it's also when your partner tosses and turn. You feel that in a normal mattress.
Especially, yep, you're right. That's a huge issue. So let's get in and talk a little bit about we had to work with and define why people sleep and what the role of the sleep surface is. And number one, you need one that's going to give you the proper posture. We all remember water beds and how comfortable they were, but what they did is the way our body's shaped. You need something when you lay down on it that it pushes your hips up into proper alignment with your shoulders. Uh, like I said, water beds were all the rage, and then after about 5 years, they went out of favor because people realized they caused a bad back. They were very comfortable, but they didn't give you the support you needed. But once you provide the support in a sleep surface, then you need pressure relief because under our hips and shoulders, we're going to move if we start to feel uncomfortable. Our central nervous system is set up that way so that anytime we feel pressure, whether we're standing, sitting, or laying down, we will move to reduce that pressure within 5 minutes, or it starts to create a bed sore. And
Oh,
then the third thing is healthy materials. And that sounds like a silly thing, I mean, you don't want to sleep on something unhealthy. But what we've learned over the years is, with all our research, is that many of the materials used in today's mattresses are really problematic. And we're going to share some of that with your audience now. Um, all the major mattress companies all use foam. Um, 50 years ago, mattresses were made of cotton and steel springs. Today, the cotton's all been replaced by foam. It doesn't matter what kind of mattress that you buy, except for the ones we make, you're going to be cushioned by some type of foam. There's memory foam people know about. There's polyurethane foam and egg crate type foam that many people have seen. There's a support layer, and there's an inner spring. Or a lot of mattress companies now are saying that it's the springs that are causing the pain in a mattress, and so they're taking those out and just putting more foam in. So essentially, when you're looking since the 1960s to today, that's what almost all mattresses are made of. That's the same thing as using an old typewriter or rotary phone. It's just phone. It's just way old technology, and we've way advanced past that. Um, our research has shown the problem with foam is that it wears like the tires do on your car. So as you use it, it changes 25% in the first 2 years, and then up to 55% over 5 years. And that's why people, you have those body impressions, like you said with your mattress.
Uh-huh.
Remember? And
Yes, the
like,
canyons.
yeah, your husband, he's sleeping in a crater, and you keep moving him around and developing new craters. That's the foam, and the foam wears that way. It's predictable. Unfortunately, all the foam does that. It doesn't matter what quality, they all have some wear characteristic. The best foam we've found will change 16% over the first couple of years. And the worst we've found will change 40%. So, you know, one of the major problems with all of the retail mattresses sold today is the fact they rely on foam. Then the foam also doesn't push your spine up into alignment. So when you're laying down at night, your hips are sinking further into the bed than your shoulders. And that's just like walking around all day like this woman would. And if you did that, you'd be, you'd have a bad back before you know it, and it'd be stiff and so forth. So most people don't realize that they are actually sleeping on a mattress that is contributing to their back problems. Um, and that's what happens when you use this foam in a mattress. You can see that the hips and shoulders sink down, but at different levels into the foam. And so the spine is out of alignment. Then we talked about tossing and turning already. And, it's 20 to 40 times a night, like you said. And that's a reason people do it because of the central nervous system. You have to reduce the pressure. Unfortunately, every time you do it, you leave deep healing sleep to do it. And this is just more a lot of pain people. And Teresa, you'd probably be surprised to know this, that 70 million people in the United States complain that they suffer from sleep related pain.
Yes, yes.
That they go to
I
bed.
did.
Yeah. Did you do that?
I did, and I just wrote it off to I was getting older and I've danced my entire life, so I just figured it was my body getting mad at me for putting so much exercise and stress on it.
We always
But then,
internalize this stuff. We were either exercising too hard, not enough, getting older, too heavy. There
yeah,
and we just don't make the connection. Well, we found out that the connection is really you can blame your mattress in many cases. And then the third problem we found with these foams is that they off gas. The foaming process is made of its chemical process. They actually add air into different materials, whether it's latex at the high end or at the low end, it's polyurethane. And you've smelt polyurethane before. You smell it when you get your nails done. It just
yes,
it's very toxic. Well, polyurethane foam, much of it is that process. Also, the federal government makes every mattress manufacturer use a fire blocker in their mattress. Before we can sell a mattress to the U.S. Uh, public, we have to prove to the government if that mattress is set on fire that it will self extinguish itself. And this is a rule. Then the cheapest way to get a mattress to do that is to use a low cost fire retardant like boric acid as a spray. And so what you're finding is there's formaldehyde in the foams these days, there's boric acid, there's all kinds of carcinogens that we have found are extremely toxic, and they're being related to a lot of the health problems we're having and our kids are having. Things like ADD, ADHD, childhood asthma. Everything seems to be on the rise today in 3 or 4 times what it was 20 years ago. And unfortunately, these materials are being used in the home, and the modern mattress is full of them.
My kids, this is the part I think I was so frustrated by this when we were doing the research for this that I have 3 kids and they're all sleeping on mattresses that have this stuff in them.
Well, you're right. And the other thing is those kids, they're in their growth stages. They're spending much more time sleeping, and there's so many things happening with their hormonal and with their growth, that it's critical that they're able to sleep properly, number one, but also sleep safely, so they're not exposed to this toxic off gassing. I can explain studies that we've seen that were performed internationally in medical books and so forth that would just scare your audience to death about this. I don't want to do that right now, but if they go to our website, you can see some of these studies and things that we've seen that just tell us that's why we have a crib mattress that's made just out of our gel, IntelliGel. We have a kids version of it that's
Hmm.
nothing but organic cotton in our IntelliGel, and then of course we have the adult products. So this stuff is being released into the air. When you buy a new mattress, you can smell it for the first couple of weeks, and then it airs out. But it continues to off gas the life of the mattress. As the mattress is used and the foam wears and changes, it continues to off gas even though you can't smell it. So what we did, wanting to build a wellness quality product that was really healthy and safe to use for people who just couldn't sleep on a regular mattress, we went into the hospital industry and found a material used in wound care situations for burn patients and for bed sore patients where the risk of infection is what is life threatening. And it's called IntelliGel. And you see a picture of it here with the person's hand. A lot of your audience will know about it because it's licensed to Dr. Scholl's. It's the same material used in their foot pads, their gel foot pads. And
I love that.
yep, we have the exclusive license to use it in the home market for mattresses in the U.S. and Canada. Um, it's an incredible material. We use 2.5 inch layer honeycombed, and you'll see what it does. It buckles under the hip and shoulder area and sinks in just as far as it takes to relieve the pressure based upon the weight of the person. And so it keeps the spine in proper alignment. It's a pressure, basically a pressure releasing grid. When we compare it to the leading most expensive mattresses, this is a medical pressure mapping comparison, same person. You'll see on intelliBED that the person's outline is in light blue and dark blue. That means that that person would not need to move at all during the night, that there's zero pressure that would cause them to move.
Wow.
The red and yellow, and there's the sleep numbers, the adjustable bed, air bed, Tempur-Pedic is the memory foam bed, and then Innerspring is like a $4,000 mattress. With those, people would need to move within 5 minutes, or they would start to the circulation to the skin would stop, and they would start to develop a bed sore. And so, if they're operating properly, then their central nervous system will send a message to their brain and say, "Quit doing what you're doing and move." Okay, and that's why you toss and turn at night. So the other thing with this IntelliGel is so safe. It's approved for use of baby bottle nipples, and in fact, it's made of. And we bring this material into our plant here in Utah. It's made of baby oil, unscented baby oil. And
Wow.
so it's just an incredible material. It's totally non-toxic. It's hypoallergenic. It's antimicrobial, meaning none of the bad stuff will grow on it, like bed bugs or
Hmm.
dust mites and all that type of stuff. It won't breed mold like some of the competitive mattresses will. So we were able to essentially replace the foam that was problematic in what we saw with other mattresses with this copolymer gel that has been used in the hospital industry for 25 years, and we've been using it for 20 years, almost 18 now, in the home marketplace. Incredible material. And then we have to add a fire blocker because our gel won't start on fire, but there's other stuff because we use organic cotton and so forth. And the government, as I explained, makes everyone, including us, prove their mattress will self-extinguish. So what we use a silica thread, polyester, and make a sock of it. And silica, of course, is glass. It doesn't off gas and it does work. And so we're able to, with our gel and our fire blocker, have a bed that is all virtually solves any of these toxic off-gassing issues that all of the foam-based mattresses suffer from. A couple of things we've done over the years. These mattresses in the hospitals cost $15,000. Obviously, we couldn't sell a queen or king size mattress for $40,000, no matter how good it was. so,
Right.
so we created in our company. We bring the oil in, we turn it into gel, we make the mattresses in house. We've cut out all the middlemen. We make our product available through doctors. We work with 1,200 doctors across the United States right now and their patients. So we sell factory direct. We have a 60-day money back guarantee where we work with the patient or the person who buys our bed, make sure they're sleeping properly. If they aren't, we allow them to return the bed and give them 100% of the cost of the bed back. We see ourselves, Teresa, as being in the sleep wellness business, helping people sleep better. And, we're able to do that by giving them a product that our gel in our beds will last 30 years. We have a 30-year warranty on them. We have them in the field 18 years now. They hardly show any wear. We've been able to reduce the cost to where a queen size bed will cost, $3,000, $3,500 delivered into the home. So it's about $100 to $150 a year to sleep on our technology and to get the best quality of sleep. And that relates to the best value in the mattress business.
Right. I had one of our readers and Facebook followers a few months ago. She moved, and at the time she was looking for a new mattress, and she sent me a message, and she said she wanted to try out the intelliBED, and she was really worried that there was nowhere she could go to buy it, that she had to do it online. But she had read so much of what I had talked about and how I had bragged about it on my Facebook page, and I told her, relax, it's 60 days. You bring it into your house, you try it out for 60 days, and then if you don't like it and it doesn't work, they're going to come and take it away and give you all of your money back. And she was absolutely shocked. She has it now. She loves it.
Yeah, and we've been doing this for 18 years, and what we've learned, number one, you can't sell people a mattress in a retail store. You can, if you lay down there for 15 minutes, you don't know how that product's really going to work.
Right,
So most people end up getting stuck with a mattress that they had no way to buy. It'd be like buying a car and they just let you sit in the car at the dealership and rev the engine, but don't let you take it out on the road, you know,
right,
while the salesperson's whispering in your ear how much you're going to love it. So what we know is that this is an important medical product, and people need to sleep on it for a week or 2 weeks to see how their body adjusts to it. We're doing things. We're pushing their spine back into a proper alignment they haven't had for years. We're comforting them in a way they've never experienced. And so
right.
we talk to people during that period and make sure they're adjusting properly.
You guys did. You guys called me to check on me. It was great. I was so excited. I'm like, this is the best customer service. The thing that my husband and I noticed is the first night that we slept on it, we woke up the next morning and we looked at each other, and it was so hard to get used to actually not having to fight sleep. Does that make sense? Like it took us about a week to really get used to it and really fall asleep, and then we realized this is amazing. like our bodies did not know what to do with this bed. It was in shock.
And that's what you're experiencing, Teresa, is we spoke earlier about the brain and the brain's role in this whole process that is unleashed when we sleep if we sleep properly. And so what you're experiencing is something that basically you're not used to. And so, once you adjust to it and get to trust it, then our biggest complaint is people can't sleep when they travel anymore. They don't want to take vacations. It sounds really
Right.
silly, but that is the biggest complaint we have. This sleep system and the role it plays in you getting the kind of deep healing level sleep.
Hmm.
Uh, for instance, I sleep about 5 hours a night. That's all I need to sleep because I'm getting all the stage 3 and 4 sleep I need during that period. And if I sleep any otherwise, I sleep 7 hours and I wake up sore and I need to take a nap in the afternoon.
Right.
It's just now, and people won't know that until they buy the bed. You have to buy it, and then of course we like to work through people like yourself instead of through retail mattress salespeople, and we work through doctors because these are people that are trusted. And when you say these words, and your audience will trust you. So we're so pleased to be able to share this information that we've learned.
Yes, I'm so excited. This has been such an amazing few months. I mean, few months. We got the mattress in January. It's been life changing. This has been we I cannot thank you guys enough, and I tell everybody about it. We have friends that come into town and they were complaining about their mattress. I'm like, oh no, 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 come lay down here. And it is life changing, and I want all of my readers to be able to experience this. And with a 60-day risk-free trial, there's no way that you can't. And we're adding in a limited promotion just to show you guys how great this is. You guys, we're going to receive, if you go through my link, the intelliBED.com, Teresa recommends intelliBED, you'll receive two IntelliPillows. I've never said that word.
Mhm.
Two IntelliPillows, which is a value of over $400 plus the Fitbit. And the reason why I wanted the Fitbit to be part of this, so that you can track your sleep. I want you to wear that Fitbit and the next morning log on to see how much you've slept, and it monitors when you've been tossing and turning. And I've worn it on a regular mattress and I've worn it on our Fitbit and or on our IntelliBED. It is crazy the difference and how I just sleep so soundly. I've posted my results on my Facebook page, and I have friends who are shocked that I've slept that soundly. And that's with a baby and a toddler in my house. It is, I love this. You guys, thank you, Sean, for helping me with this. I could have never done this without you. There's nobody else that can sell your bed better than the person who knows the ins and outs of it. So thank you so much.
Well, you're welcome, Teresa. And we spent 18 years learning all that we've know about sleep and so forth. So it's just a pleasure to share it with you and with your audience. Thank you.
Thank you. So you guys make sure you click the link, and we're going to have more links, and I'll make sure to include links to our other posts. So go try the IntelliBed so that you guys can get some sleep.